YOLO, my fellow human beings, and welcome to episode 102 of The Best Plus Life. I'm your best host, Kristen, and today's topic is Snowballs in June. Donut knock it till you try some. Before we get started, I want to thank you all for watching. Please continue to watch, comment, share, like, subscribe, ring that bell, and please pass them on to anyone you think that they would help. With that being said, I'm doing a special Friday episode. It was a crazy week, and I still wanted to do one. Call me crazy. So let's get on with our list of things to do today. We're going to do our daily inspirations, of course. We're going to talk about dealing with obstacles. And then, of course, we're making donuts. And we're making a healthier version of donuts, hopefully. Now, again, this is a friendly reminder that I make all these recipes for the very first time right in front of you. I've never made this before. I swear. You see my terrified look on my face every time I do these things because you know I have no clue how they're going to turn out. Okay. I'm going to read the daily inspirations and then I'm going to read you the recipe. I'm going to put it down just so I don't forget. Okay. So we got about 2 weeks worth, and I'm going to start with Thursday, June 15th. Setting a goal, accomplishing it, and feeling good about yourself can help build confidence and perseverance. Madison Keys. It is the sweet, simple things of life which are the real ones after all. Laura Ingalls Wilder. June 17th. Success is sweet and sweeter if long delayed and gotten through many struggles and defeats. Amos Bronson Alcott. The 18th, sweet is the memory of distant friends, like the mellow rays of the distant sun. It falls tenderly yet sadly on the heart. Washington Irving. June 19th, the love of learning, the sequestered nooks, and all the sweet serenity of books. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. The 20th, the best, most beautiful, and most perfect way that we have of expressing a sweet concord of mind to each other is by music. Jonathan Edwards. A poet is a nightingale who sits in darkness and sings to cheer its own solitude with sweet sounds. I really like that one. Percy Bysshe Shelley. Byssshe. Okay, the 22nd of June. Sow good services. Sweet remembrances will grow from them. Madame de Stael. The 23rd of June. No person was ever honored for what they received. Honor has been the reward for what he gave. Calvin Coolidge. The 24th. Feelings or emotions are the universal language and are to be honored. They are the authentic expression of who you are at your deepest place. Judith Wright. Femininity in and of itself and the feminine can be not only privileged but honored or worshipped. Jill Soloway. The 26th, I'm kind of honored to be a dragon lady. The dragon is a very powerful mythical animal. Yoko Ono. The 27th, everyone has a reason why their sacred cow is a sacred cow to be honored. Jim Norton. The 28th, you feel touched and honored and alive when you give to someone. Daphne Zanuga. The 28th, you feel I just read that one. The 29th, I'm honored if I can inspire somebody else. Demi Moore. And the 30th is on here. Just give me a second. I forgot to write these last two down. Can you tell? Is for today. Heroes are never perfect, but they're brave, they're authentic, they're courageous, determined, discreet, and they've got grit. Wade Davis. And that will be posted shortly. Alright, guys. Done with those. So, let me move this out of the way. So now, the recipe I'm following is called Healthy Baked Snowball Donuts. And it's 2/3 a cup of milk, 1.5 teaspoons of white or apple cider vinegar, 2.5 tablespoons of oil, and there's an asterisk by that, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 cup of flour, and there's an asterisk by that, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 cup of sugar, and there's an asterisk, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then, of course, powdered sugar, which which makes them look like snowballs, for coating. And then I'm also, of course, going to do cinnamon sugar. Hello. So we preheat it to 350, and then in a bowl, whisk together the first 4 ingredients, which are the milk, the vinegar, the oil, and the vanilla. Okay, so the substitution for the oil, I'm using 2.5 tablespoons. So that's a half a tablespoon. Okay, so it's 2 1/2 tablespoons. So I am using Greek yogurt, hopefully. Okay, and then for the flour, she suggested spelt, S-P-E-L-T, oat or white, and I'm using the oat. And then for the sugar, she suggested either just regular sugar or like xylitol, I think it's called. But be careful, that stuff is dangerous for dogs, most animals. So wouldn't you think it'd be dangerous for people too? I don't know. I'm not up on these things. But I am going to be using Moreno, my pure cane sugar that I have been using. Just a little less processed than everything else. And then you're going to grease a donut or mini muffin tins, and of course I'm doing the muffin tins. In large bowl, combine the remaining ingredients except the powdered sugar and stir well. So in the large bowl, we're doing all the dry ingredients basically. And you're going to pour the wet into dry, stir until just evenly mixed, and immediately pour into pan. I don't know why immediately, but it does say immediately. Bake 8 minutes and cool completely before removing from the pans, and then dip or roll in sugar. Or she suggested you could shake it on the top too. I'm gonna roll. I'm a roller. Okay, so in this we're gonna put our milk. And then of course we're gonna talk about dealing with obstacles. I think we're all kind of trying to work through some stuff. I mean, I could be wrong, but okay. So obviously, if you're dairy intolerant or lactose intolerant, or don't eat dairy, of course she suggested applesauce or a banana for the oil, or just oil if you just wanted to use oil. There's that. Can't get my spatula in here all the way. So, and then she said, of course, use whatever milk. Doesn't have to be just regular milk. Almond, oat. Go full oat. Coconut would be nice in here. Probably you should get a nice little coconutty flavor. And then this is our vanilla. And our 1.5 teaspoons of, I used apple cider vinegar, because I don't believe I have any regular right now. I'm out. Gotta put that on the grocery list. Alright, so it doesn't sound like we're making huge batches, but I didn't look to see, honestly, how many this is supposed to make. So, I sprayed both my mini pans, just to be on the safe side. Alright, I'm gonna put that off to the side, right? I greased them, and then in the large bowl, I don't know why it needs to be large, because we're not really using that much ingredients, is our cup of oat flour, our 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and then our 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then this sugar. I almost forgot. Okay, so we're just gonna mix it. I'm just gonna, my bowl must have been wet when I put it in here, because the sugar is, no. Oh my goodness, guys. Are you kidding me? I can't put this in there. Alright, I'm gonna have to get like, let's see, a couple tablespoons of sugar. Although, I mean, I'm, gonna say I could have bypassed this and just, played the sweetness by ear, because you're gonna roll it in sugar. So, there you go. That's my feelings on it. The less the sugar, the better. And if it tastes sweet, well, that's even better. All right, and then also, if you're gluten-free, just make sure that when you pick an oat flour, that you pick one that is gluten-free, because I don't believe all of them are. I could be mistaken on that, but I know not all oats are gluten-free. Okay, so let me get all this stuff out of the way. We don't need any of this anymore, because we're basically going to pour the, what did I say, the dry into the wet? No, it says pour wet into the dry. That seems a little crazy. I guess I'm technically not making a cake, so maybe that's why I'm a little thrown off. Usually, you know, you're pouring in the flour with all the eggs and stuff, so. All right. So, doesn't say anything about pouring it gently, nothing. And I could have done the bowls the other way around too, couldn't I? But I definitely have enough room. You don't need a large bowl. I'm trying to visualize how these are going to come out. I probably should have grabbed my cookie scooper. I don't know, they're very wet. I know, I always jump the gun. I'm trying to. Look, some of the flour is stuck in the bowl. So I'm waiting to hold my opinion until. I might need a little more flour, to be honest, I feel like. But I also feel like it's sticking to the bottom. Or not mixing properly, something. Maybe I should be whisking it. Didn't it say whisk it? It did say whisk for the first 4 ingredients, but maybe we should be whisking them together as well. Even though it says until just evenly mixed, which I'm not sure it is. See, there's some flour still on the spatula is holding me back. It could be the, yeah, it's starting to, it could be the Greek, sorry guys, could be the Greek yogurt, maybe, that's still lumpy, and is making me feel like it's not completely mixed. I don't see how this is gonna set up, but we'll give it the old try here. I'm trying to see what it smells. If I would assume it would need a little more vanilla, that's just me. Okay. Yeah, I would like a little more vanilla. I would like it to have a little bit of that vanilla baked smell, you know? And then as far as the thickness goes, oh yeah, I think our I don't know, it's very bubbly. I'm assuming that's the yogurt. Here, that's better. I like to have a vanilla smell if I'm putting vanilla in there, you know? But I'm finding the vinegar a little overpowering. So I know I've had apple cider donuts before, so I'm assuming we're going on that premise. But this is very runny, and I'm worried. Doesn't seem stable enough. I'm gonna jump the gun. You know me and my little experiments here. I'm gonna do a smidge more flour. And I keep a lot of my flours, especially these ones that aren't like just regular white flour. I keep these in the freezer. I just wanted to add a little more stability. I mean, I could have messed everything up just now. I mean, it's not, I wouldn't put it past me. But, I don't know. I feel like donuts should be thicker. You know, more like a, I'm trying to think of where it would hold its shape, you know? Because normally you're cutting them with a cookie cutter. I guess I'm in the wrong frame of mind. Well, we're going to give it our best shot. Get this spoon out of here. I am making the perfect mess. You know this. You know me. I love to make a mess. Okay. Alright, wish us luck. Maybe we should do an experiment. We'll try one. Because they only bake for 8 minutes. So that's what we're gonna do. We're running a test. We're running a test. I got all messed up. Okay, so this is going in for 8 minutes. And while it's cooking, we can talk about dealing with obstacles. I think that's the best way to do it. That way we're not wasting all the dough, and I can always add more if I need to. So, there you go. We'll go from there. I often wonder if people that write these recipes actually do them. And that's not to say I'm not doing them wrong. Totally gonna say user error for the most part. But there's a couple that I really didn't change much on the recipe that shouldn't have been, you know, affected by a couple small changes, and it seemed to affect it greatly. So I don't know. I'm really becoming like one of those people where I'm like, as I get older, am I getting worse at cooking? I mean, I don't know. I feel that way sometimes. So that kind of leads up to the whole dealing with obstacles or struggles or adversity or some resistance against what you're trying to do. And when do you take that as a sign that it's just a little resistance and you can deal with it, you're still plowing forward? Or is it the type of resistance where you just go, am I supposed to just be done now? Like, am I not supposed to continue on this path? Am I looking at this path the wrong way? That's what I'm kind of really wanting to delve into a little bit more, and hoping that I can get y'all's opinions on how you handle something that is not a big roadblock, but a stumbling block in your life goal, life plan, where you thought you were headed. And I know people have gotten pretty decent roadblocks, like stopping points. Like, no, don't go any further. You're completely off the mark here. Or, yeah. That's what I want to know, because I'm really in the mood to understand certain thought processes, because I'm kind of making myself angry. Overthinking, of course, because that's how I do. Hopefully I haven't come completely unplugged. But also just trying to realize that just because you have this little bit of a blip doesn't mean you should stop. So analyze something like that for me and tell me, where did you realize, or when did you realize that what you're doing was completely wrong, or I want to hear from people that say, not completely wrong, but it did help me to reevaluate where I was going. Because those are two completely different steps. Both major, if you ask me. But major for different reasons. Like, I feel like if I get one of those little signs or signals in my life that says, well, you know, you just need to just veer. Just turn a little right or left. Otherwise, you're fine. Then I'm like, ooh, aha. That's one of those aha moments where you go, why didn't I think of that before? Kind of deal, right? But then there's the roadblocks, the stopping points, the ugh. What is going on? Like, this does not seem like a dream come true for me, or, you know, I thought I really wanted to be an astronaut, and now I am a I don't know. I was trying to think of something more, I don't want to say realistic, because if you want to be an astronaut, right? But something more like you'd go to college for the bachelor of something, but you don't go to college for the bachelor of astronautics. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know you do, but you don't. Anywho, I got off track here. What I'm trying to say is that maybe you're in the right area, you just are at the wrong address. Or did you wind up in a completely different state? And you're looking around going, where is everybody? Kind of deal. So that's where I feel like I am having a hard time. Then I feel like other things are pushing me towards what I'm looking for. So that's the other problem. I'm having mixed signals. So if y'all could straighten that out for me and get back to me as soon as possible, that'd be great. Okay. Well, it's poofing up. I don't know if 8 minutes is enough, to be honest. It looks very... She didn't say how to test him either. She just said bake 8 minutes and cool completely. I'm wondering if I should... Is it something where you should stick a toothpick in it? Because I'm really beginning to wonder. Alright, you know what? The timer's going to go off in a few minutes. I'm going to put you on hold for just a few seconds because I want to get the powdered sugar ready. And, there was something else. Oh, I wanted to get the cinnamon sugar ready as well. Alright, so putting you on pause. I'll be back. Alright guys, I've taken it out of the oven. Realized I should have used the smaller one because now all my spray is kind of brown. But it's like stiff, set, pretty thick, and this has actually been getting thicker as it's been sitting here. So I'm gonna let that cool completely, and I think I'm good to go and make the rest. So what I'm gonna do, I was gonna put them in that pan because I thought it would make like a nice fried kind of deal, but I'm kind of worried about it having been in there and maybe possibly have burnt a little bit. So I'm going to use the smaller one. But I have my plates of powdered sugar and cinnamon sugar. I can't wait to test that little guy. But this is also kind of thickened up since I've been maybe sitting here. This is the dill. This is the dill. This is the deal. It's like hard to like not get it on the pan. So we gotta do one of those guys. And I think I ruined my brand new cookie thing because it's stiff as a board all of a sudden. Alright, so basically that's what we're doing. This is like the 1 tablespoon scoop, I believe. And that's the perfect amount. Fills it up just to the right level. Alright, I'm going to fill these. I'm going to bake them for the 8 minutes. And then while I'm rolling them, we can finish our conversation. When we come back, we can finish our conversation about obstacles. All right, so I'll see you in a little bit. All right, guys, I'm back. Finally. I got one whole batch done, and I got our experimental one done and powdered. So I'm going to taste test it for you right now. I don't know why I'm nervous. They're either really moist or they're not done in the middle. Which it seemed like there wasn't any wiggle room for. So that means I'm going to say these are probably not done. I'm going to try the cinnamon sugar over top. I don't know if I like the powdered sugar with it, to be honest. But I'm more of a cinnamon gal, so that could be part of my problem. No, I can't talk. Wow. Yeah. I definitely like that better. But there might be people... I can't talk. Sorry. I don't know what happened there. There might be people out there that like the powdered sugar better. The other thing I would think I would try, too, is like a chocolate coating, you know? Or a glaze. Oh, a glaze. Oh, boy. So it looks like we're going to get about 12.5 dozen. And I'm going to probably, I don't know. I'm thinking I might cook them for another minute or so. They're either really moist or a little underdone. So I think that's the part that's most troubling. And then this one didn't get, and it could be the pan. Because the other bigger pan that I cooked that first one in got a little golden brown on the bottom, and these got no coloring whatsoever. So I'm thinking I'm going to put these guys back in for a little bit. So I'm not going to do what I said, which is to, you know, finish them off and do all the decorating for you. I will show a picture of them when they are done online, on my Instagram at The Best Blessed Life, and on Facebook at Kristen Haas, KristinHass. All of a sudden I'm so itchy, I don't know what happened. Anyway, with that being said, let's just touch base real quick on our obstacles and how we feel, where we got, if we got anywhere. Because I'm like, did I really explain myself? Or... So basically, you know, I think I'm looking at some sort of crossroads or something of that nature. And the info that I'm trying to get from you or ask you about is, if you've been at this crossroads, where did it lead you? And how did you figure out which way to go? I know pros and cons. I do a lot of that. So, and journaling has just been on the back burner. I hate to say it. Don't forget about our challenges. Pay yourself first, sentimental journal, and mind over body over mind. So, but that middle one, it's been a rough one. It's been a rough one. So, I think there's been this just thinking quietly in my head. It's when it comes out my mouth that a lot of times it gets done on paper. So I feel like I'm processing things, and maybe I'm just being lazy, I don't know, but I feel like there's this moment where I'm making decisions, or when I'm making decisions, that I'm doing the kind of calculating in my brain. And I don't mean that like, ooh, calculating. I mean just pondering all the scenarios and where that leads me or what happens with that bit of information. So hence why I'm at this part where I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just not understanding what I'm doing here. And you probably don't either. But maybe you were in that same boat. I'm not asking you to analyze my situation because I'm not explaining it that well, nor have I given you much information, but I am asking, what did you do? How did you get where you are now? How did you draw the map, the scenario? Anyway, with that being said, I think I'm going to let y'all go now. I've held you hostage long enough. But overall, I'm going to say they're really delicious. I feel as though I want to cook them a little bit longer, but I'm also leery. You know me, I second guess myself, and the second guessing has led to probably more failures than successions, but it's always that what if that hangs in the air. What if I had cooked them longer? So maybe I should experiment with a couple. I'm learning. Finally learning to do a taste test instead of making the whole batch and praying for the best. Well, I hope you guys got something out of this special episode besides looking at a crazy lady. I hope you all have a safe and wonderful 4th of July holiday week, month, long weekend, whatever you took. I hope you enjoy it with your family and friends, but be safe. And with that, I want you all to have a good day. Go do great things. Be your best self. And please live your best blessed life. Thanks for watching. Bye.